All the history of mankind is made by and made from people whom we call geniuses. They are renowned for the things they did, created, or discovered, and various things, from ideas to inventions, lands, and even stars, are named after them. Thus, the history of human thought and affairs can be summarized as the birth and rise of one genius to the birth and rise of another. At first glance, we might associate genius with extraordinary intellect, a person who stands head and shoulders above the rest in their field. But is intelligence alone the hallmark of genius, or is it something more profound? As we delve deeper into the nature of genius, we can actually find that it transcends mere cognitive ability. Indeed, it has to do with the ability to see the world through a different lens, to think beyond conventional boundaries, and to channel that vision into tangible achievements that alter the course of human understanding and progress. But extraordinary deeds can appear so when in truth they are a sum of simple everyday steps, performed with persistence over a vast period of time. This will for performing regular steps, which is also called discipline, and which applies simple truths to bring into reality some simple results at first, cannot be called the corollary of intellectual abilities. Rather, the discipline itself can bear the fruit of higher intelligence if taken far enough. Throughout history, figures like Aristotle, Friedrich Nietzsche, Mozart, Leonardo da Vinci, and many others have been celebrated as geniuses, not solely because of their remarkable intelligence, but because they dared to ask questions others didn't even know existed, and also because they managed to stay remarkably productive over the course of their lives. They possessed a unique blend of creativity, curiosity, vigor, tenacity, and perseverance, allowing them to transform abstract ideas into groundbreaking discoveries. Yet, genius is not confined to the pages of history books or the realm of extraordinary. It can manifest in various forms, from the child prodigy composing symphonies to the quiet businessman thinker who devises innovative solutions to everyday problems. In essence, genius is struck by the ability to break free from the constraints of conventional thought and to pioneer new paths that expand the boundaries of what is possible. The genius is the one by whom we measure ourselves and what we do. The genius, from the Latin word meaning spirit, transcends time and death. He cannot inherently be named, but he can be defined. The nature of such a person is marked by a special attentiveness to themselves, the world, and the divine. A genius gazes into the essence of what is observed, and when filled with the light seen, they take the needle stitching something beautiful into the dull fabric of everyday reality. Through this, the unseen veils can be unraveled. As the veils fall, the former self meets its end, and thus, from under the genius needle, what died is resurrected. Resurrection takes a death first. Genius not only creates but also destroys. By shaking the consciousness, it shakes loose all that is dull, fleeting, already dead. Why so? To wave new threads in place of the old. Strong, long, elegant threads connecting the fibers of consciousness, intertwining the lines of the spirit. The genius weaves life itself into the soul of a person. He waves its fullness, its time, its sensation, and light. Indeed, what he's doing seems as something godlike. A person who encounters the creation of a genius is faced with a choice: to turn away from the light or to embrace and accept it. And when a person says yes, all that is unnecessary fades away. All that was lost is resurrected. All that is needed is born anew. Those who choose the light are inspired, their talents revealed, living in full being. The genius transcends time and death. They live on in the souls of the inspired, always. To explore the essence of this word, we can look in more detail at its etymological roots. Genius is a Bird Latin word by which the Romans meant the male spirit of a family existing in the head of the family and subsequently in the divine or spiritual part of each individual. It is a personification of a person's natural appetites. It is the spirit or personality of an emperor regarded as an object of worship. It is a spirit of a place. In literature, it is also the talent, inspiration. The word is derived from the verb gignere, meaning to beget or give birth. The etymology offers a glimpse into its profound meaning. Genius referred to a guardian spirit or divine entity that guided a person from birth. The term originally signified a spiritual force responsible for one's innate abilities and inclinations. Over time, this evolved to describe individuals who exhibited extraordinary intellectual or creative capacities, suggesting that genius is not merely a product of the mind, but a deep, almost mystical connection to a source of inspiration that lies beyond the self. A genius is thus someone who channels this divine spark, turning it into tangible achievements that elevate humanity. The concept of genius has long been a subject of fascination, revered as the pinnacle of human potential. A genius is often characterized by their extraordinary abilities, remarkable creativity, and profound impact on the world. Yet, these observable traits only scratch the surface of what truly defines a genius. At the core of genius lies an abundance of energy, an insatiable drive that propels individuals far beyond the limits of ordinary effort. A genius is distinguished by their ability to outperform others, but each does so in their own unique way. Whether in art, science, philosophy, or any other field, their work bears the imprint of an extraordinary vitality, a force that seems inexhaustible. This energy is not merely a physical or mental capacity. It is a deep-seated inner fire that fuels the relentless pursuit of their chosen passion. However, what truly sets a genius apart is not just the possession of this energy, but the ability to sustain and renew it over time. The primary hallmark of genius, then, is not simply raw talent or brilliance, but the inherent capability to channel this excessive energy into one or a few dedicated pursuits. This requires a mastery of the art of balance, particularly the ability to rest and rejuvenate effectively. The paradox of genius is that while they are capable of extraordinary output, they must also cultivate the wisdom to conserve and replenish their energy. This is not merely about physical rest, but about finding the mental and emotional equilibrium necessary to maintain their creative and intellectual vigor over the long haul. Consider the tragic cases of those who, despite being hailed as geniuses, exhausted themselves to the point of early demise. These individuals, though they managed to disentangle and express their natural talents, failed to recognize the limits of their energy. Their brilliance burned too brightly, too quickly, and ultimately consumed them. In this light, they are not the true geniuses but rather cautionary tales. They suffered from foolishness and squandered their greater potential by neglecting the essential need for balance. Genius is marked by endurance and sustainability, not just by a brief, blazing flash of brilliance. But in the end, the genius is still simply a human. He is still vulnerable. Nevertheless, if a genius becomes one, then he must be accompanied by strength of character. The use of drugs or indulgence in decadent, self-destructive behaviors are antithetical to the very nature of excellence. These traits reveal a weakness that undermines the capacity to harness and sustain one's energy effectively. True genius is characterized by a robust inner life, a disciplined mind, and a strong will. It is a form of authenticity, a deep alignment with one's true self that transcends the superficial allure of temporary highs or fleeting pleasures. Ultimately, the genius is the most authentic type of self. They are individuals who have not only discovered their unique gifts, but have also mastered the art of channeling their energy in a way that is both productive and sustainable. They are not driven by ego or external validation, but by an inner compulsion to realize their fullest potential. In this sense, genius is less about intelligence or creativity and more about the ability to harness and sustain one's energy in the pursuit of a meaningful and enduring legacy. The notion of genius has been revered throughout history, often seen as the pinnacle of human achievement. To be a genius is to embody excellence in its purest form, transcending the ordinary and touching upon the divine. This excellence is not merely a function of superior intellect or skill, but a harmonious blend of innate talent, relentless drive, and the ability to inspire greatness in others. Genius, in its essence, is the living manifestation of human potential at its highest. Yet a true genius is not merely someone of exceptional talent or intellect, rather they serve as a catalyst for the creative potential in others. This is the defining trait that separates genius from mere brilliance. It is the ability to ignite sparks of inspiration, pushing others to reach beyond their limits and expand their own boundaries of creativity. And this way, a genius transcends the conventional limits of their time and place, not only shaping their own destiny, but also awakening something deeper in the hearts and minds of those they touch. The true genius transforms both self and society, drawing forth the creative force that exists in the world and leaving behind something far greater than what they found. But is the genius a master of many things, or an embodied perfection in just one art? Humanity does not seem to have a precise answer to this. Plato, the ancient prominent thinker, supported a sole devotion of a man to one occupation to which he is naturally inclined. One man cannot practice many arts with success, it said in the Republic. But we know many geniuses who mastered many different fields, attempting to reach universal knowledge. Among them were Leibniz, Descartes, Goethe, and Da Vinci, who wrote that everything connects to everything else. What if we merge these perspectives by proposing that the true art to which a genius is destined is none other than the art of universal mastery itself, an exceptional ability to weave together diverse fields of knowledge into a harmonious whole? Now let's turn to the concept of an evil genius, which challenges our understanding of genius as a force of good. Can someone who uses their extraordinary talents for malevolent purposes still be considered a genius? While the term genius often carries a positive connotation, it fundamentally refers to the capacity for exceptional creativity and influence. An evil genius, then, is a paradox, an individual who possesses the intellectual and creative power of a genius but chooses to use it destructively. Such a figure embodies the dual potential of genius, the ability to elevate or devastate, to create or destroy. However, true genius, in its highest form, is ultimately aligned with the advancement of humanity, with a creative spark that ignites the potential within others rather than extinguishing it. A true genius is not just a solitary figure of brilliance, but a catalyst for creativity in others. Their work and ideas inspire, challenge and elevate those around them, creating a ripple effect of innovation and discovery. This is perhaps the most profound aspect of genius, the ability to awaken the latent genius in others, to kindle the creative fire that might otherwise remain dormant. In this way, genius is not merely about personal achievement, but about contributing to the collective evolution of human thought and creativity. We may often hear that a person that is born a genius is only recognized as such after death. Genius can be imagined as a vector, a direction that is chosen perfectly. One only needs to look in the right direction, see their talent, and follow it. But the genius can walk alone on this path, without understanding, without the help of others. All this seems to tell us that the genius is carrying a burden, the weight of an honest awareness of the world, seeing others, seeing themselves. But they are also human, all too human. They are still mortals. Geniuses see not only the light, but the darkness as well. Often they make a pilgrimage to where there is less light, or where it seems there is none at all. The genius speaks to one who desired to see light in the void, and saw it, for he created it. The genius are junior creators, humanized spirits, who seek to see light in the void. They venture into it to understand the nature of shadow and the essence of its absence. They dissolve into it, wandering too long in the shadow, whether it be their own, that of others, or the world's. And others cannot always help them. They will not understand. They will not ever find their truth. These people, the geniuses, they carry the risk of dying, completely and forever. This is the risk of attempting to become a genius, the risk of trying to see the light in its perfection. It can be called a burden, quite possibly, and perhaps this is the implicit risk and the price. The environment in which a genius grows up plays a crucial role in nurturing and empowering their natural inclinations towards mastery. A supportive, stimulating environment can provide the resources and encouragement needed to develop one's talents fully. However, if such an environment is lacking, the true genius finds a way to rise above their circumstances, turning adversity into advantage. Like an alchemist who transforms base metals into gold, a genius synthesizes greatness from whatever materials life provides. Their philosopher's stone is their spirit, its tenacity, resilience, and vigor. This inner strength enables them to transcend limitations, harnessing their innate potential to achieve excellence in any situation. The genius is, thus, indeed, an antifragile being. In essence, they embody antifragility by mastering the art of turning life's inherent unpredictability to their advantage. Whether faced with abundance or scarcity, support or opposition, the genius possesses an intrinsic ability to adapt, innovate, and excel. This capacity to not just withstand but grow stronger through adversity is what defines them as extraordinary individuals. Through their example, we see that true excellence is not about avoiding challenges, but about embracing them, using them as opportunities to push the boundaries of what is possible, and, in doing so, to achieve greatness. And so, in the essence of genius lies not just brilliance or creativity, but the mastery of one's inner energy, an abundant driving force that propels the individual toward extraordinary achievements. True genius is defined by the ability to sustain this energy, to balance relentless pursuit with the wisdom of rest and rejuvenation. It is the strength of character the authenticity of self that allows a genius to transcend mere talent and create a lasting impact. Those who fail to conserve their energy and fall victim to self-destruction are not geniuses, but cautionary tales. The real genius endures, mastering the art of balance and leaving behind a meaningful and enduring legacy. Genius is the embodiment of excellence, a force that transcends the ordinary and touches the extraordinary. It is a divine spark that not only illuminates the individual but also ignites the creative potential within others. Whether nurtured by a favorable environment or forged in the crucible of adversity, true genius is characterized by their ability to transform, inspire, and elevate, leaving a lasting legacy that shapes the course of human history. In the end, genius begins with simple but consistent steps toward growth through discipline and temperance, consequently gaining a silent might. The main question is, however, not the impact of genius or his significance, but is, will you become one?